Hello, puppies and kittens. Welcome to another episode of Reading Joseph Smith. And wow, where are you going? Yeah, this is my false water cobra, who I named Abath after the singer from Immortal, and of course Abath. Anyway, we are missing a few people, and as I understand it, Shannon could not be here with us today. She had surgery and she's doing well. She's with family and all that. And she meant to be on the show, but she had surprise visitors coming, well wishers, as you will. And then, so I told Bryce he's going to have to carry the show today. Hello, Jimmy.
I'm here.
Oh, thank God somebody else came along to help carry. I can't be wholly responsible for this.
I can be unwholly responsible. No, I can't even that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Something's wrong with all my setup. I got to figure that out, but I can hear you faintly.
Well, I'm quite a ways from the microphone because I'm trying to prevent him from climbing on it.
Now, I even only hear myself faintly. You have to plug this all the way in, it turns out.
You gotta plug in the female.
Yeah. I've spent my entire life trying. Did we already start? Are we on air or what's the deal?
We are on air, yes.
Fuck yeah. Cool.
So, who's reading today and who wants to begin? I'm going to have to put this guy up. We're too active.
Are we on chapter 27 of 2nd Nephi?
Yep.
I believe that is correct. That's where my
and
bookmark
partially Isaiah 29.
Oh, we're back to some Isaiah bullshit.
Before we start, Bryce, people have been asking about Shannon. You had a message from Shannon for people watching?
Yeah. It was essentially what Aaron said. She just said, will you tell the listeners I had a surgery last weekend, am recovering well, and hope to be back next week, but it might be in 2 weeks before she can make it back. And I have been in contact with her. She is doing good. She's doing better. She's recovering very well, and she does have a really good network of family who are there to support and help her during the recovery. So yes, she sends her love to all of you, and I'm sure she would appreciate any well wishes that people are willing to send her through the chat here.
All right. Well, here I am wishing.
Indeed. It's always a relief to find out that somebody's gone through a surgery and not just that they're tired of my bullshit.
Could go either way here.
Well, it happens. It happens. Maybe I caused the surgery. Maybe it was a Jimmy stress growth. I don't know. I don't know what type of surgery. Who knows?
A couple of hours with Bryce. It was inspired by the last show that we did when he said that he could do 2 hours just going over all of the things that Joseph Smith did against his own commandments. And we've recorded at least 2 hours, and then we had to take a break. And I think we're going to do another 2 hours and possibly longer on another session.
Yeah, we didn't even get through half of it in the 2 hours. So you invited me on. You know what you're getting.
Yeah, but I think it's important too. I mean, certainly it would have been for someone like me, and I felt so sorry for myself as a little kid when in the 70s had indoctrinated with this family and everything. You're telling me things my family would never have known, and if they had known, they wouldn't have told it, right? And I have to think that if they had known, that it would have made a difference, But
maybe,
well, to some people it doesn't.
Yeah, but to the fraction of people that it does make a difference, then hey,
yeah.
that's impactful work. That matters.
That's why we do it.
Actually helpful. Yeah,
hell yeah.
So I think this series of interviews with Bryce, with the first of which will become available this evening, I think it's important. It may seem like just him and I bullshitting, or it's me I'm bullshitting, but he's brought the goods.
I know how that goes. I'm pretty good at platforming people who make me look very smart, and it takes so long for people to realize just how incapable I am. The word is stupid. I'm just a stupid person is what I bring to the table, but I'm good at bringing the smarties with me. And people are like, man, who made that great point earlier? Was it Jimmy or one of his guests? Well, Jimmy was loud, so it must've been him. Like, I'm good at it. I'm just good at
that. Okay, then. Excellent. And who is going to read today? Oh wait,
I'm
I
done.
got comments to read, don't I? The Raven 200 offers $4.99. Says your snake Abath is so adorable. Thank you very much for that. I wanted to bring him out just so that the Raven 200 could see him.
Hell yeah.
And then Mark Smith, member 1 month, says $5. If you can, let Shannon know not to come back till she's all well, at least as far as the surgery goes.
No, there's not a person here. So here's the thing. I totally agree that that's what should happen. That's not what's going to end up happening, because Shannon has the same passion the rest of us have, and all of us will put our lives slightly at risk and our health slightly at risk if it means there's a slight chance we fuck up one more Mormon's faith. Like that's she will be back before it's probably the right time to be back, because she is passionate the way I'm passionate. I feel like it's the thing we have in common, and it's probably the thing that I annoy her with the most, but I don't know. And there's just no way. I have such a fucking splitting headache right now. If I cared about my health, I wouldn't be here right now. I care about that there's the chance that one Mormon is watching who's going to be like, well, God damn it, I'm out. Just that chance. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, well, I tell you, Bryce is going to do that to some people when the series comes up. That I think for sure it's gotta be.
It's got some potential. That's good. I'll be there.
Yeah.
So
I'll be there
do hope.
watching.
So, and Jade 10 gives $10. Thank you very much. It says a little off topic, but Aaron, I think you would be interested and saddened to know the state of Missouri passed even stricter laws about teaching history, such as the truth about slavery. I know, right? Because they've just got to misrepresent everything while simultaneously trying to bring slavery back. There are people in the GOP who have actually advocated in the last 2 or 3 years to reinstate slavery. You talk about how dangerous it is politically to threaten Social Security. There's people who've tried to back slavery reinstatement.
They're trying to bring it out of the prison systems. Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is not recent. When did they stop doing slavery?
Right.
And then Trevor Gillis offers $5 Australian and says, "Smart poof." I'm not sure what that.
I think that's
I don't know. That. I'm guessing it's a slang term. I don't know. Logical and reasonable will do for me. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you for falling for my ruse that I'm reasonable and logical. I appreciate that. I tricked you. I can start with the reading if you like.
Sure. Thank you.
But behold, in the last days, or in the days of the Gentiles, behold, all the nations of the Gentiles and also the Jews, but those who shall come upon this land and those who shall be upon other lands, even the puppies in the background, even upon all the lands of the earth, behold, they will be drunken with iniquity and all manner of abominations. And when that day shall come, they shall be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and with a great noise and with storm and with tempest and with the flame of devouring fire. And all the nations that fight against Zion and that distress her shall be a dream of a night vision. It shall be unto them even as unto a hungry man which dreameth, and behold, he eateth, but he awaketh, and his soul is empty, or like unto a thirsty man which dreameth, and behold, he drinketh, but he awaketh, and behold, he is faint, and his soul hath appetite. Even so shall the multitude of all the nations of that be. All the nations that fight against Mount Zion. For behold,
can I just make a supposition here? You know how we transition from the Isaiah chapters that were like, confusing, but well written and like actually biblical, and they're in here and they don't belong, and that's funny and all. And then we get now to chapters 26 and 27, and it's just like these long fever dream screeds. It almost reads like Joseph Smith found in a dumpster a preacher's sermon cards and was like, how do they fit together? Fuck it. You know what? I'm just gonna take their notes that he wrote down like bullet point shit, and he's gonna make an entire sermon out of it. That's what this reads like, a revival sermon.
Well, actually, verse 2 here is the same as verse 6 in Isaiah.
But then on verse 3, is there any similarity to Isaiah in verse 3, or like is Isaiah just peppered in here?
As I was
Yeah,
reading
it's
verse
peppered.
3, I thought people would think that I was like stroking out and just reading the same line over and over again. I was literally like, people are going to think that I'm the problem here, that I'm repeating myself because I'm not transitioning lines or something.
Verse 3 here is a similar. Yeah, it's verse 8 on Isaiah.
Interesting. So
Yeah, almost.
wow.
I think it's a bit more full than the Isaiah one.
So weird. So weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had to make that
will-
point,
I would-
just a tangential point.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say first about "thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts." So while most commentators wrote that the phrase is intended for the Assyrian army, Rashi wrote that this refers to Ariel, which is described in previous verses. And I think Ariel is either Jerusalem or something else. He writes, "And after you become humble and your speech chirps, Ariel shall be visited by me to save them." Is Ariel anything in Mormonism that is significant?
She's a mermaid.
The Little Mermaid, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it
and
makes
Mormons
sense.
are super pissed she's black now.
That's true.
Oh, and did you read 4? Verse 4? I don't think you did.
No, I haven't yet.
I don't think so.
Okay. Sure.
For behold, all ye that doeth iniquity, stay yourselves, wonder, for ye shall cry out and cry, yeah. Ye shall be drunken, but not with wine. Ye shall stagger, but not with strong drink. Do you want verse 4, or do you want me to go all the way to 10? And then
Yeah,
just do
it's
the whole loop?
Isaiah 9.
Okay,
It's verse 9 in Isaiah.
tight.
Yeah, and actually the NIV reads, "Be stunned," and for the sorry, he added the "for behold all ye that doeth iniquity."
Mm.
He added that part, and the "stay yourselves and wonder, for ye shall cry out and cry." In the NIV it reads, "Be stunned and amazed, blind yourselves and be sightless," and the JPS reads, "Act stupid and be stupefied, act blind and be blinded." As Rashi comments, "Stay yourselves, be patient to reflect about your deeds, and wonder about your corruption." And Ibn Ezra writes, "The prophet addresses the men of Zion who will be curious to know how this will happen and what the meaning of this prophecy is. The prophet speaks in the same manner as people used to speak one to another. And why do they still not understand him? Because they are drunken, but not with wine." And the word that is translated to blind or cry is of the root "hey shin ein," which in Isaiah 6:10 means blind. So it could either be blind. I think it's the more reasonable translation.
So then, am I gathering this correctly that when Joseph added "for behold all ye that doeth iniquity," he shifted the focus of that verse away from the people that it was meant to be written for, or am I misunderstanding this?
I think so. This, according Ibn Ezra writes that this he addresses the men of Zion who will be curious to know how this will happen and what the meaning of this prophecy is.
Yeah, so drunk but not with wine. Is that a clever way of saying they were doing shrooms?
That sounds like it. I got some good sacrament.
I can check this if you want to.
I don't think it matters.
I
got
think
another comment from Mormon Skeptic who says, "I was that one Mormon once. Thanks, Jimmy Snow."
Thanks, man.
Yeah. And then the Raven 200 offers $9.99 and says, "Here's the same question I asked Forrest on the line. Aaron, what to you is the funniest aspect of evolution, such as humans having tailbones but no tails, unlike our hairy cousins?" The funniest. I would have to take a minute to think about that. Off the top of my head, I think it's amusing that artificial selection uses the exact same mechanisms but opposite, because artificial selection works differently than natural selection in that natural selection is working for the animal itself, whereas artificial selection is working for our interests in the animal. So we make ducks that are too fat to fly and have too small wings but taste really good. This is not the kind of thing natural selection could come up with.
I was about to say that I think maybe the funniest thing is us having a vestigial organ that sometimes explodes and kills us for no reason. I think that's pretty goddamn funny.
Yeah, it turns out that the appendix was not it does not qualify as a vestigial organ. We do have vestigial organs, but the appendix is not one of them. There are, yeah, it's not. In order to be a vestige, it has to be reduced in size from its previous both its previous size and its previous function, and it's really neither. So it was confused with the type of sacrum that monkeys had and all of that. There are plenty of interesting. Shut up, dog! Damn, every few minutes. I just have to go mute for a bit. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
I'm good. So first of all, do I have FPS now? Do I have
Yeah.
do I
Looks
not
like you're
have
doing all
things
right.
as- Okay.
You're
I set
smooth.
up a whole thing downstairs with a different computer and stuff to not be coming in on the same physical setup. So it should be better. But now I'm in a big room, like with no sound cancellation really. So there is going to be that. Somebody had mentioned it seems like I have a little reverb. It's the room. It's just walls and floor. It's not even a carpeted floor. Anyway, am I just going to keep going? What should we do here?
Yeah,
I have no
that
problem.
Sounds great.
Cool. Am
Yep.
I on 5? I
Yes.
haven't been listening to myself. Okay. For behold, the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep. For behold, ye have closed your eyes, and ye have rejected the prophets and your rulers, and the seers hath he covered because of your iniquity. And
This is verse 10 in Isaiah.
tight.
So, is he jumping around the Isaiah verses, or is this
Well,
been continuous?
When we reached verse 26 in Nephi, then he just copies / reads from Isaiah 14, verse 14 and forward.
The funny thing is the Mormon perspective on it is basically like, boy, it's really sad that Isaiah didn't have the better Joseph Smith version of the verses, because they would have been less lost for so long if they had those good ones. The good verses. They're one of the good ones. Yeah, for real though. 6. And it shall come to pass that the Lord shall bring forth unto you the words of a book, and they shall be the words of them which have slumbered. And behold, the book shall be sealed, and in the book shall be a revelation from God from the beginning of the world to the ending thereof. Wherefore, because of the things which are sealed up, the things which are sealed shall not be delivered in the day of the wickedness and abominations of the people. Wherefore, the book shall be kept from them. But the book shall be delivered unto a man, and he shall deliver the words of the book, which are the words of those who have slumbered in the dust. And he shall deliver these words unto another. But the words which are sealed he shall not deliver, neither shall he deliver the book. But the book shall be sealed by the power of God, and the revelation which was sealed shall be kept in the book until the own due time of the Lord, that they shall come forth. For behold, they reveal all things from the foundation of the world unto the end thereof. Book.
Okay, he repeats the word sealed here 11 times, and in the KJV it only appears 2 times.
Wait,
and
so
book.
he added sealed a whole bunch of times?
Yes, and book is in this verse, I think 21 times. Sorry, not the verse. This chapter it appears 21 times, and in the KJV, I think it appears only 3 times.
Oh, God.
These repetitions are just, I don't understand.
So, okay, so there's like a really quirky Mormon history story that's embedded in these verses here that we can talk about, but like, I'm curious, like, I'm why did he add so much? I don't have any idea. I would have to look at like what it originally says compared to this to see what he added and why. It's just insanity. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull open a Bible here. Please go ahead, Tomer.
No, I don't have anything to say. It's just he just repeated this sealed and book, and it's just I don't see why. I really don't.
So what chapter Isaiah is it? Isaiah 29?
29.
Okay. All right. Okay, so the weird Mormon history story that goes along with this, right? So this idea of a sealed book. So what happened, and you know what? I might ask to screen share really quick here. Because when Joseph Smith was working with Martin Harris to translate the the Book of Mormon translate to author the Book of Mormon. And they were coming out, or they were writing this all together. Martin Harris was going to be the guy who was going to fund the publishing of the Book of Mormon. So he asked Joseph Smith to produce for him a piece of paper that shows the inscription, the Reformed Egyptian inscription on the or what the plates looked like. And let me share this really quickly here, because we have what is a manuscript of the Book of Mormon plates. So, Aaron, if you can authorize that screen share, the listener should be able to see this character's manuscript.
I thought that Peter was in charge of that, but all right.
Oh, my mistake, Peter. So anyway,
Peter, can I hit share screen, or do you do that?
Peter's taking a smoke break, I think.
We can't share my screen.
We can't share a screen because I don't have anything set up. But if you can you send it to me or shoot me a link?
Yeah, actually, there's an email from Walker Bow in our email thread that actually has a useful infographic for all of this.
I thought I've only used StreamYards a few times, but your StreamYard production isn't giving you the option to let him change his window to his screen.
Yes, but I don't have
through Peter's system.
I don't have a setup in OBS to share a screen.
Got it.
Okay. So, well, in any case, so let me just post this in the chat, and Peter, you should be able to navigate to that, and you can show the document that is in question here is what is known as the character's manuscript. This is not the exact manuscript that Martin Harris used, but anyway, so the story is Martin Harris wanted to verify with a professor, with a learned man, that the Reformed Egyptian characters on the gold plates were indeed Egyptian, and that they were verifiable, and that what the translation of the Book of Mormon was an accurate translation. So Martin Harris took this manuscript and handed it to a professor at Columbia University named Charles Anthon. And Charles Anthon looked at it, and he was like, are you fucking with me? Are you playing a trick on me?
Are you taking a piss or what?
That's right. At which point,
there you go.
Martin Harris said, no. He told Charles Anthon the story of the gold plates and the angel Moroni and how everything came to be. And at that point, Charles Anthon was like, oh, no, you're not playing a trick on me. This kid is trying to put a scheme on you to get your money. And told Martin Harris as much. So after Martin Harris left that meeting, he was no longer affiliated with the translation process of the Book of Mormon. He also lost 116 pages at that point. But when it came time for him to finance the Book of Mormon, even after being told by this professor that he is being preyed upon by rogues, Martin Harris still financed the Book of Mormon. And Joseph Smith claimed or wrote his version of the interaction. Joseph Smith said that when Martin Harris and Charles Anthon met, that Charles Anthon gave Martin Harris a certificate saying that the translation was an accurate translation. And that when Martin Harris told Charles Anthon about how the plates came to be in Joseph's possession, that Charles Anthon took the certificate of authenticity and ripped it up in anger and saying that, where the age of revelations and angels is long past. Well, that was the Joseph Smith version of the story. And part of that was, Charles Anthon told Martin Harris, bring me the entire Book of Mormon, and then I will make a translation of it. And Martin Harris said, well, I can't bring it to you because the book is sealed, meaning that, Joseph Smith has it, or that it's sealed by the power, or that the last 2/3 of it are the sealed portion of the Book of Mormon. So the Joseph Smith version of the story relies on that verse in Isaiah saying that the book, it is sealed by the power of God, in order to give license to his story of the plates supposedly being sealed by God.
Yeah, I could give you the whole Book of Mormon, but the Holy Ghost ate it.
That's actually the story.
No.
Joseph Smith said the Moroni took the plates back with him. So what's really funny about this, though, is there were missionaries who were going around in the early 1830s, and they were telling people that they have this Book of Mormon that was authenticated by a professor at Columbia University to be an accurate translation of Egyptian. And they were these Mormons were just touting the Joseph Smith version of the story. And when Charles Anthon, of course, was notified that the missionaries were using his name to sell their bullshit book, he was like, "Oh, hell no," and wrote this letter for open publication telling his side of the story. He was absolutely incensed that the Mormon missionaries were using his name to give, kind of like a learned or a professional license to their book. But yeah, in any case, what's really funny is, Peter showed the character's manuscript, and what's really funny is Charles Anthon described in his letter, the public letter for this, he described the characters that he said to the effect that the person had some kind of a dictionary in front of them, but that none of the characters were actually Egyptian hieroglyphics, which, as you can clearly see, viewers, none of those in the character's manuscript are Egyptian hieroglyphics, but what you can see is letters and numbers that look like just traditional English that are just turned to the side, or some dots or some slashes or dashes are added to them. It's just a fascinating story in early church history.
I like it how they said it's not reformed Egyptian, it's deformed English. And
That's right.
Yeah, I was not aware until Bryce explained to me a couple days ago that Joseph Smith was a counterfeiter, or that he at least made his own dollar bills.
Yes.
Lots of funny story about that.
Like Ray Comfort does?
No, Joseph Smith made money in a very different way.
Oh, okay. No, Ray Comfort makes his own dollar bills and throws them around in, I think it was
like
Romania last time. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that upset? Yeah. Like a folded up 20, but then if you unfold it, it's, have you ever told a lie?
Hey, Ivory, I think you're going to want to mute your mic when you're not actively talking. We're hearing like kids and stuff in the background.
I was wondering what the hell was going on over there. I was hearing like somebody grunting and dying and.
My daughter likes to screech and run about.
I wouldn't have any idea what that's like. Would I, Falcor? No.
I apparently missed something funny when I was putting my headphones back on. I've grabbed toast and ibuprofen to treat this headache. It was a very real headache. That's my dog, everybody. You'd never get to see it because he's not allowed upstairs. This is Dexter.
I cannot
Hi,
see
Dexter.
No, he's there.
Which Dexter is he named after?
The murderer.
I watched the original series. It was pretty good.
I even liked the new series.
I haven't seen the new series yet.
I liked it. I'll pick them up later when I don't have peanut butter toast.
Oh God.
You go like, man, I wonder why they're always so crazy during shows, and then you just antagonize them. They're like, oh, showtime is playtime. Dexter's over here with an actual personality disorder he has to take SSRIs for, and yet he's just chilling. He's good. He's a good boy. He's a good little boy. I like showing off how good my dog is, even though he's fucking insane. He's half husky, half Chihuahua. That's completely true.
Oh, good God.
That's what his DNA says. He doesn't have a single good.
That is a mental condition.
It's he is in a constant state of vibration. Always, he doesn't stop vibrating.
The funny thing is Chihuahuas are exactly what you would expect of any tiny animal whose dick is bigger than its legs.
I don't think I can't imagine that his father was because it says in the DNA his father was the husky, his mother was the Chihuahua, which is awful. But I don't imagine A lot of people, when they think Chihuahua, they think of the like toy-sized Chihuahuas, like the Taco Bell Chihuahua. There are Chihuahuas that are not big, but it's not as horrifying as it could be. Ivory, also, I think we hear every time you breathe. Your mic is super sensitive, like so sensitive.
That's what that noise was.
Yeah.
And I thought Peter was dying.
No. On
still-
StreamYard, there's a mute
still
button.
alive.
I'd highly recommend you just mute when you're not talking, because it's not only that, we pick up every time your kid makes a sound, all that stuff. Yeah. Anyway,
I
love
am
you, buddy.
I am a bit worried
Audio
though,
shit
Jimmy.
drives me up the wall.
Your dog's mother, did she give birth or did she just explode?
Who knows? She's a rescue. So Dillahunty actually rescued him, and but it was during the pandemic, and there were other things going on in Dillahunty's life. And this is not a dog that, like, no one should have Dexter besides people like me who can dedicate a long amount of time every day to training him and making him feel safe and shit. But now he's just the bestest little boy.
Okay, so Mormon Skeptic says, Mormon Stories podcast just did an entire episode on backdated prophecies in the BOM, including Professor Anthon's story.
And I'll selfishly plug on Glassbox Podcast. We just started reading through. I gotta grab it. This book, Saints: The Standard of Truth, and we discussed the Professor Anthon story quite extensively on the latest Glassbox as well.
And then I'll plug my new project. I'm making BDSM furniture for ferrets.
Okay, that is the most random thing I've heard today. What?
I just thought we were doing our plugs. I thought we were plugging things. I thought I was a guest here, Tomer.
Another
fine.
comment from Jet. Another comment from Jet alone says, let Jimmy know that Midol is spectacular for headaches.
I know the type of headache I've got this time, and I know ibuprofen's the one to. I've been sick my
One
whole
of my
life.
oldest
I know
friends.
which
That's
ones.
actually the first. That's actually the first thing she ever said to me. There's this girl I've known since we were both 14 in high school, and honestly, the first thing she ever said to me was Midol, great for headaches.
Was she a pharmacy rep? Like, what the fuck was she?
We were in high school. I saw her pop a pill. Now remember, this is the 70s. This is 1970s. Everybody's popping pills, but it's not for medical reasons. And she pops a pill at the drinking fountain, and I'm just looking at her kind of weird because she was also always reeked of marijuana. And it's just, again, it's the 70s. And that's her first words. Midol, great for headaches.
Head on, applied directly to the forehead. Head on, applied directly to the forehead. Head on, applied. Does everyone?
And we're
remember
still
these?
friends to this day.
Does anyone remember those commercials? Am I the only one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah, the little rollerball thing.
But it was on.
Oh, yeah.
It was on Fox News, so I imagine all of us heard it growing up because it would have been in Fox News on like 2005 to 2010. Like, oh, head on.
My
applied
personal
directly to the forehead.
My personal recommendation for anything from just a small headache to a migraine, and if you're not allergic to it, is naproxen sodium. It's very strong. Hell, I've even taken it for toothaches, and it worked wonders.
Y'all should just
Don't
be
take
glad I
medical
didn't take
advice from
mushrooms.
a study group podcast.
Y'all should just be glad I didn't take mushrooms right now.
I was hoping you didn't.
Not yet. Not this week.
I was hoping you did.
I don't think I can admit to doing mushrooms from Texas. I think I have to pretend to never do drugs now.
Yeah.
Speaking
Okay,
of
we
doing
have a book
drugs,
to read.
shall we continue?
Yes.
I think we're in verse 11, 12. I
11, I
follow.
believe. All right, 11.
Sure.
And the day cometh that the words of the book which were sealed shall be read upon the housetops, and they shall be read 2 by 2 by the power of Christ, and all things shall be revealed unto the children of men, which have ever been among the children of men, and which ever will be unto the end of the earth. Wherefore at that day, when the book shall be delivered unto the man of whom I have spoken, the book shall be hid from the eyes of the world, that the eyes of none shall behold it, save it be that 3 witnesses shall behold it by the power of God, besides him to whom the book shall be delivered, and they shall testify to the truth of the book and the things therein. Tomer, that's not a Isaiah verse, is it?
No,
Okay.
there is no mention of 3 witnesses.
Okay.
So,
because
Why
that's a
should three?
Joseph Smith edition, clearly, because he had the testimony of the 3 witnesses and the 8 witnesses at the beginning of the Book of Mormon. So that's a very Joseph Smithian type of thing. And there is none other who shall view it, save it be a few, according to nobody else is going to see it, well, except for some, according to the will of God, to bear testimony of his word unto the children of men. For the Lord God hath said that the words of the faithful should speak as if it were from the dead. Now, I'll also point out that Mormons will be reading this and they'll be like, oh, this is so, I mean, this is something that Nephi was writing, 559 BC. And it's prophesying that Joseph Smith is going to come along and he's going to show his book to, the gold plates to the 3 witnesses. It's like, when you understand that this is one of the very last things that Joseph Smith wrote into this book, that he was already devising the con to get Martin Harris's money to print this book, then it becomes very apparent that he was just post-dating prophecy. He's smart that way, the way that any good prophet does, I guess.
The best way to write and make sure any prophecy comes true is to write backwards.
Yeah, absolutely. We get a puppy. That's a cute doggo.
Hello.
I've even seen Hindu scriptures do that, where they will. Hindu scriptures are all supposed to be incredibly ancient, and they just backdate the scriptures. So where they're suddenly talking about something, it's an interpolation, right? But it's something that was written centuries ago is now talking about something that happened relatively recently, but it's buried in the original text, like nobody's going to notice.
Amazing. Verse 14, wherefore the Lord God will proceed to bring forth the words of the book, and in the mouth of as many witnesses as seemeth him good will he establish his word.
Seemeth him good? King James didn't talk like that.
In the mouth of many witnesses.
Oh no.
Bear witness.
We get to the lewdness here.
Oh, the visuals I have right now.
And woe be unto him that rejecteth the word of God. Seemeth and rejecteth. It's Joseph Smithians. All right. But behold, it shall come to pass. That's not, and it came to pass, sadly enough, that the Lord God shall say unto him, whom he shall deliver the book, take these words which are not sealed, and deliver them to another, that he may show them unto the learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And the learned shall say, bring hither the book, and I will read them. And now, because of the glory of the world, and to get gain, they will say this, and not for the glory of God.
For the glory of God.
I wanted to say that verse 15 here is kind of similar to verses 11 and 12, but I think the next verses are more accurate.
Did it say the book is not sealed? The book is not sealed. Not sealed. The book is not sealed. The book is not sealed. Anyway, go on.
And this is where the Charles Anthon prophecy in the Joseph Smith version of the story comes in. And the man, and now because of the glory of the world and not to get gain, and the man shall say, I cannot bring the book, for it is sealed. Then shall the learned say, I cannot read it.
They're just rewriting their fucking ED. I can't perform. It's sealed right now. I want to bear witness. I just can't. It's sealed up.
Yeah, it's kind of like verse 11 in the KJV. And the visions of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed.
Right. So that was like one verse that Joseph expanded into multiple verses for an unknown reason.
Perhaps.
Well, I will also say that the verses actually came after. Joseph was just writing this dictating all of this as just one big block text. So it probably is, he didn't make multiple verses out of it. So never mind.
Yeah. Oh, God.
As far as it is translated correctly.
How many times he repeats? He repeats learned.
Thank you, Bryce, for getting the joke. I think you're probably the only one who. Well, Ivory might have.
He repeats learned
I got
8 times.
Yeah.
It's all good.
He repeats learned 8 times, and in KJV it's 3 times only.
Why is he
Why?
adding these? Why?
Why? Ah.
What's so funny too is like this is so Joseph Smith did one of his early projects when he started the church was making a Joseph Smith translation of the Bible, and he and Sidney Rigdon teamed up together and they rewrote entire books from the Bible. And like that's what's funny about this is like this is the Joseph Smith translation of Isaiah making its way into the Book of Mormon somehow. It's just it's fascinating to me.
Maybe we should. Do you have the original formatting in front of you still? Are you still using that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he doing anything fun? Maybe he's using the same word over and over again because he like wants to see how many times in a line down the column he can get it. Like,
no.
fuck
What's
yeah.
really interesting is I do see a lot of chapters that we read through that have quite a few edits and changes. This is almost word for word. Like the only real edits that are being made here is punctuation and changing the ampersands for ands. Like,
which word was on repeat right now?
Learned?
I think.
If
Yeah,
you take learned and you highlight it, does it draw a penis? Highlight all the learned. Let's find it. Let's see if there's a message here. Is all I'm saying.
No, I don't think so.
I think that's a little too sophisticated for Joe's sense of humor.
If you want to extrapolate, it kind of looks like the border of Armenia, but no.
That's sure. That's right now. Think about the story that that Bryce told earlier about the guy, the translation guy, the professor. Just so you know, Tomer, you've just created a headline later this week where the church's news arm is going to say, Jewish scholar confirms Romanian origins to Book of Mormon story.
Armenian, not Romanian.
Oh, I thought you said Romania. Whatever.
I said
What's the
Armenian.
difference? They're both people. They all
Yeah,
look the same.
I won't comment.
you probably shouldn't.
Do you have any commentary at least?
Not here at least.
Okay.
Once we get to verse 26, then.
It took me a good 4 episodes to realize the way you were using the word commentary before, that it's like you were referring to an actual like scholarly thing and not just like, I want to say something. And I was like, what a weird way to say you want to pipe in. Just talk, bro. And you'd be like, all right, it's time for my commentary. And I'm like, no, just say your words, bro. I didn't realize.
Just do the Donald Trump. Shoulder your way through there, push the other person back, and then adjust your lapel.
Come right to the front. Okay. I've got some commentary. I'd like to share my commentary. Just
sorry, I'm being polite here. And as
well,
I
that'll get you
here,
nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No,
that's the American way.
The word commentary to me, I didn't realize had a different meaning to you, is all I was pointing out. And I was trying to make it funny and then do Trump voice, and it all worked out for me. Need anything else from me, or am I dismissed? I'm just kidding. I'll figure out.
I think we need to say your name 4 times in a candlelit ritual to dismiss you, Jimmy.
No, that makes me show up behind you. So.
All right, I'm going to read in a couple of other chats. Pradriag McLaughlin. I'm going to guess that's probably not correct, but I'm going to guess that it is. And by the way, one of my best friends named his kid Pradriag. New member, $5. Raw. You changed my life. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you very much for saying that. I have no idea how to pronounce Irish names. It's an American handicap.
I mean, Jimmy's a pretty Irish name. You do okay.
You
You barely mess up Jimmy at all. It's a little, but you barely mess it up.
Thanks, Jimmy. So,
challenge accepted. It's Jimmy. Cool, man, Jimmy.
Cool.
Just
Okay.
a quick note. Did I pronounce that right, Padraig?
Did you all hear Tomer go, cool?
Yeah, that's what you do. Like, that's what you do almost every time. Don't blame me on this.
I enjoyed the where the crisis that was reflected in the way you said cool, where you're like, fuck, this is I chose to be here. I chose to
that
be
was
here. This
that was
my
the,
choice.
Hello,
I
everyone.
decided
Yes,
to
I
be here.
did.
cool.
Yes, I did.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reading Joseph Smith, where you can see Tomer and Jimmy have their rivalry over multiple episodes.
What are you talking? I love this man. Tomer is my guy. This is my dude.
Yeah, I gotta
Frankly,
say,
I was excited to see Tomer in the
Fuck
green
yeah.
room before we went on air. I was like, oh my god, I hope Jimmy shows up. I need to see this saga continue.
I'm not angry at him at all. I
Saga.
thought cool was the funniest line of the whole episode so far. I thought it killed me.
in context, it is. Yes.
It is. Cool.
Historical philosopher says, I think Bryce is confused. He said prophet when he meant con man.
Oh, you just didn't see how I spelled prophet in my head.
Prophet.
Gotcha.
I created my own reformed language script. Should I become a prophet?
Man, have you all
Why
been
not?
seeing across like Twitter and shit? The church right now is going through like the church membership is starting to realize and figuring out how to apologize for the fact that they make so much money. The leaders
Yeah.
make so much money that they're going through a whole crisis of wait, we've been saying our whole lives that none of the leadership are paid. So what did we when we said that before? Could you tell us what we meant? Because apparently we meant something other than we thought we meant. So what we said was still true. But tell us, what did we mean when we said those words out loud?
It's really odd. There's like a graphable trend that when the church comes under pressure from government regulation, federal government with polygamy or tax exempt status with the whole black people having the priesthood thing, or the Security and Exchange Commission, looking into their extremely shady hedge fund management, that suddenly policies and doctrine change in the church. And we're seeing that right now. It's fascinating to me.
It's almost like God isn't doing shit and it's just people and influence, and it's all happening late as fuck.
Have you noticed how the Pope has to hurry and follow social trends?
Well, the
It-
Pope
it-
doesn't
it's-
have as much priesthood in his whole body as I have in my pinky as a baptized and set apart priest. So
I
don't know what
like
you're
the way
talking about.
George Carlin put it. I have just as much authority as the Pope. It's just fewer people realize that.
The reason I said it and the reason why Bryce was laughing is because I assume you got the same line at some point in seminary or somewhere.
Oh yeah.
As soon as you get at 12 years old, you become a deacon is the word. And you're now allowed to pass the sacrament. Somebody's going to intercept you and say, just so you know, you have more authority in your pinky, more priesthood and authority of God in your pinky than the Pope has in his entire body. And then they show you a picture of the Pope's entire body. It's very gross. And I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I
That I made
literally
up.
had an
That part.
entire Sunday school class for my deacon group that was just like describing the power of the priesthood and stuff. It was
Yeah.
thinking back, it was very cringe.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, the Pope's entire body, like sprawled out, naked, spread eagle,
What?
surrounded by
Yeah,
children.
what are we talking about? Present the Pope's body. I'll bring my pinky and let's see what happens.
And considering that throughout history there were popes who were a bit scandalous.
A
Yeah.
bit?
A bit, yeah.
A little.
Uh,
A little. Hey, I'm not trying to be a hero or start anything controversial here, but I do want to line up on the side of genocide's bad. If everybody could clap, if you all could clap for me now, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well, look, I'm sorry. I don't want to start any controversy. But
Yeah, I want to read a comment. It wasn't saved for me, but I saw it in the chat. It says, the Pope of Atheism said, fuck you, Aaron. I didn't do shit.
After I said the Pope should bring his entire body and I'll bring my pinky, Pope of Atheism says, call me, Jimmy. We'll get this done. He really said that. I didn't make that up.
Maybe you and the Pope of Atheism should duke it out and create a clash.
Well,
You know what I love about
I'm the
Pope?
president. I'm fine not being
I
the
like
Pope.
I like the new Pope. I don't like Darth what was it, Darth Benedict? The old Pope that was excellent. That Pope.
that old Nazi Pope. Yeah.
Yeah, the Nazi youth
Wait,
Pope
which
who
one?
had to be removed.
Let's
for,
remember my priorities. Moving people from the parishes where they're molesting people to parishes where they haven't yet molested people. And that's about it.
It's not accurate, I would say. He was in the Hitler Youth.
Oh,
think it
I
was
know. Oh my God, Tomer, quit trying to make the Nazi Pope work. Jesus
Just
Christ.
do me a favor. Everybody listening to this, if you ever start a sentence with the word "actually," just shut the fuck up.
That's yeah, sure, he was indoctrinated, and sure, there seems to have been elements where you could say like he wasn't unsympathetic, but by the time he died, he barely said Heil Hitler, like barely. So like, give him a break. Give him a break.
Yeah, he was shuttling pedophiles to protect the priests, not the children.
Yeah, stop
Okay, so-
defiling the good name of Nazis and mistaking them for pedophiles. My goodness.
and he did it. He did look exactly like Darth Sidious.
Yeah. Oh my
Perfect.
God. Yeah. After getting his face shocked off by fucking Samuel L. Jackson Windu.
Okay, I think we have a book to read.
And
I-
people,
Take
and,
your father's
I don't know
place
what you're
at
talking
my
about.
side.
Yeah.
and,
that I'm celibate. Anyway.
and some people wonder why I said "Hail Satan" to somebody who said Catholicism is based.
Yeah.
But the thing I like about the new pope is that he says shit that the rest of the bishops and everything have to rush and correct. When he
Yeah.
says that atheists can get into heaven, and all
Well,
of the
he
other
didn't
bishops
say
rush
that.
up and they say, "Well, his infallible imminence didn't really mean that."
Except for
When-
they're right. They're actually right on this one, Aaron. A lot of people interpreted what he said as atheists can get into heaven. Explicitly, it's not what he said. He basically told the person, like, your dad was a great person and loved you very much. And let's just not even think about if he's in heaven is a better summary, because he doesn't believe we get into heaven. I know to what you're referring, and it's
It wasn't
common.
it wasn't the only time. He did it twice.
Show me, man, because it's impossible. It's about
The same pope made the same
Yeah.
same comment 2 years apart, I think, at least. But yeah, he did. He said this exact same thing again, and the bishops have to run and correct what his infallible imminence meant.
Yeah, I think the thing that you're talking about is the earlier one where it's you because you still have to be baptized and all that sort of shit to get in. And so it was an idea of redemption, that a person who's an atheist now still has a path to redemption. Because it wouldn't make sense. The Pope can't just fully turn off the need for baptism and all that shit unless he gets in the chair and beats the special stick that he has to beat. Not referring to a penis for once.
That's what I did.
We wouldn't want to forget about the Gilgamesh as well.
Yeah.
We got to take their needs into consideration.
Yeah. Remember, babies still aren't for sure getting into heaven in Catholicism, let alone atheists, the unbaptized ones. And so it's a lot of redemption and treat each other better. And I do like this Pope too. One of the reasons I like this Pope is it turned so many Catholics started believing this Pope was the Antichrist. And I was like, well, that's my kind of Pope. I like that.
Yeah, there's a guy named Michael Voris who runs a channel called Church Militant. Think about how whacked out that is, right? And his entire channel, he runs a YouTube channel that is all about hate, all about judgmental hate, and he hates the new Pope. He thinks that Vatican II, the entirety of Vatican II, is the Antichrist.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the Raven 200 offers $4.99. Says, Jimmy, that's the fucking point. Still one of your best moments ever.
Did you see the moment he's referring to?
I did not.
It's on Twitter if you want to. It turns out when I legitimately scream, first of all, my face lights up like I'm very happy, even though I'm very angry. And I and the pitch of my voice, I believe I speak with a mild baritone usually, but I go straight up soprano when I scream at somebody on. I'm trying to find it on my gallery here. It was
And while Jimmy looks through his picture Rolodex,
I found it. It's
okay here.
Man. That was me screaming on it.
Jimmy,
Apparently, I'm up here. I sound
You
like Charlie
sound
Day.
like you. Yes, you sound like Charlie Day. I wanted to say that.
Yeah.
That's the fucking point.
Yeah.
Jimmy going through second puberty.
Nope. I'm stuck here. This is where I am.
Yep. Unfortunately, there's a number of us stuck there.
Yeah.
So the sinister porpoise, I love that name. $5 says, "Ah, yes, second Nephi. The first time I saw
Nephi. Why am I the only one who corrects you on this?
Thank you,
because
Tomer.
you don't know Nephi.
Tomer,
I'm Nephi on a grasshopper.
Arn, he's one of the
Nephi.
lucky people not to
Every
know
time
Nephi.
Arn says it.
Yeah, Nephi is one of those weird ass young Earth creationists, science denials, reality denials, batshit crazy.
Oh, are you referring to Nephilim?
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't.
The guy
I
who
wasn't
talks
aware
with
of that.
marbles in his mouth and never makes any sense, and it just has like no connection to reality at all, but always comes out the winner no matter how badly it loses. Yeah.
Okay.
Tight.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that guy.
Okay.
So anyway,
Not
the
realize-
sinister porpoise offers $5 and says, "Ah, yes, second Nephi. The first time I saw compare to Isaiah footnote, I thought that this was a line that's on a lot of discount dollar store merchandise."
Yeah. Compared
And
to
then Trip-
Tylenol.
Yeah. Same
then the
active
next
ingredient
comment-
as Viagra.
Compared to the opiate for the masses.
Trevor Gillis offers Australian $2, which is just like real money. Here and now, I denounce my baptism.
Tight. I
didn't mean to.
mine.
I should not have detracted from the gravitas of that
I-
statement. by
For the
making
record,
that
I've
stupid ass joke.
re-embraced mine. If they aren't going to fucking excommunicate me at this point, then I am taking that as an endorsement that they consider me a full practicing welcome member. I am a Mormon, and I'll just start saying that from now on. You guys, you have two choices. Either I speak for the church or I don't. Send me my goddamn excommunication, you cowards.
I did tell you that I
I'm
had to fill out a form where I had to sign my signature to a thing that they wrote out that explained that I acknowledge that my everlasting soul that I don't have.
That was
will
them
be-
going off book, though.
Yeah, well, will be damned to the hell that even Mormons don't believe in.
Yeah, that was their little special cosplay weekend. I look, I've done everything I've been told will get you excommunicated. I've spoken badly against the church. I've advocated for social rights, butt stuff. I've done it all, and I cannot catch an excommunication to save my life. So now I'm going to just start mentioning that I am a Mormon.
Jimmy, did you ever go through the temple? Did you make the covenants to slit your throat and all that shit?
No endowment.
That's why. That's why you
Yeah.
haven't. You're not a
No.
you're not a serious member until you go through the temple and
All
you
right,
give
I gotta
all
tell you.
you have and everything you ever will have to the church.
Me and
I'll
Jimmy
set up
both, we never
my-
went through those endowments.
I'll set up
When I
something with the
showed up-
bishop.
for the American Atheist National Convention in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I went to the Mormon temple in my knee-high biker boots and my black leather kilt and my satanic t-shirt. I was not welcomed at all.
Don't you mean? Don't you mean? Please, everybody, stop! No one make a single noise. Don't you mean your Nephi biker boots?
Oh god, I did not understand it at all. But okay, I'm going with it.
Oh,
Suck it!
Jimmy, you're lucky my sword's in my car right now.
That's the fucking point.
Cool.
So what verse are we on? Tomer, don't try and call back that quickly. I appreciate the attempt. That's too soon for the callback.
19.
Who's reading? Shall I read? Does someone else want to keep reading?
Hold on a second. Mormon Skeptic says, best thing about XCOM and removing records is that when the church had the database a few weeks ago, they sent
Database.
notices to people who had requested their records removed.
That's amazing.
The one above that, Aaron, hasn't been read yet.
Let me see here. Trithemius Finnegan. I have no idea how to say that in Irish. Funny how people call me
Jenny?
Nephi because I was named Naphtali. Mormonism trying to sound like the Hebrew Nephilim and Nephesh.
I actually kind of wish I had a Mormon name now, to tell you the truth. Like I actually see that would have been useful as an ex-Mormon to be going around being called Ammon or Nephi. No one gets called Nephi because you can't live up to it. But that's not even a joke. Literally, I've never met a Nephi. Have I met one? I feel like the other day I thought about it and I realized I'd met one. But has anybody here met someone named Nephi who's Mormon?
I have not.
Yeah, but you've met Ammons, right?
Mhm.
You've met Almas.
I don't think I've met an Alma before.
I've met
feel like
women
I've
named
met a pair
Alma
of
because it's
siblings.
also a Mexican name for women.
I feel like I've met a pair of siblings at one point that were named Laban and Labia, but I can't remember.
Laban and Lemuel. Yeah, I guarantee you, nobody's naming their kids Laban and Lemuel when they're born. they might do it later. I might be a Laman and my brother Jason might be a Lemuel now, but they're not saying it to our faces.
Our brother thinks he can.
Our brother thinks he can build a ship. By the way, we can still hear every breath. You've moved your mic to your eyebrow. Maybe I hear your eyebrows breathing. I don't know what it is. I think it makes it worse when you move it away. I think what your microphone is doing is going, oh, I got to find the audio. And it turns up its sensitivity to find you again. That's why I was suggesting to just manually mute yourself. Put it in front of your eye like you're about to shoot the Death Star down. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Use the Force, Ivory.
And then we have the Sinister Porpoise once again says $2. Mormons, been there, done that, no funny underwear.
I've never dated. I'm trying to think if I've even slept with an ex-Mormon or a Mormon. Have I ever? I think I've realized the other day that I've never dated or hooked up with or anything. I dated active Mormons when I was in the church, but I've never, since leaving the church, never dated or slept with or hooked up with an ex-Mormon. It's so weird.
Yeah, I was up to my eyeballs in Catholics.
Yeah. Look, I popped that cherry with a Catholic, but that was because I wanted to do that before I left the church. I was still in the church.
And I figured that she wasn't going to get pregnant because her name was Concepcion and she was unmarried. So her name was Miss Concepcion.
That's so stupid.
I was 16 when I
love
that.
it. I it was very funny.
So I got cookies. Says I hereby declare Jimmy's Mormon name Brigham.
Brigham. I would have hated Brigham. I would still not want to be Brigham, especially now. Like, I don't know, Brigham Young. I'm good. Pass.
And then enable somebody whose name is enable. Yeah, Canaan enable.
That's funny.
Yep, $10 says I have an extended family member with
Tiancum.
I was thinking of a Vine Sauce meme, but I'm not gonna say
Tiancum?
No, with enable. With enable.
Oh,
Tomera. How would Mormons pronounce that name?
Why would I know?
I already answered. Teencum.
Teencum.
Tiancum for the record.
Yeah.
See, I also knew I've known Hirams. Has anyone here known Hirams?
Yes.
I think I've encountered one.
Yeah. There's an excess of Samuels for sure. I don't know, but Nephi, it's like it's almost kept as a sacred name, and maybe Lehi's not used because they realized it's not a boy's name. I don't know.
I wondered why my family had such stupid names that I didn't hear anybody else in the world had. But I mean, like there was Jiggs and Heber and Denzel.
Heber, yeah. Heber J. Grant.
Heber.
Yeah.
Or Heber C. Kimball.
Could be either.
Yeah.
Right, we got a book to read.
Just naming your kid Teencum.
Teencum.
Wow.
It could have been worse if they had that middle
Holy
name
shit, Peter,
for enable.
You're doubling
Peter,
up.
stop. Peter, your voice is coming twice. It's awful.
Sorry. It could have been worse if enable had that middle name than you had enable Teencum.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Oh no.
Right.
Okay.
Go through maturity, people. Here, puberty happened a while back.
I refuse. I refuse to become
Speak for
mature.
yourself, Arn.
I enjoy my life.
Yeah, I've often said just because I'm older doesn't mean I'm mature. Right. Let's continue.
Verse 19.
Who's up?
I say
Am I-
Tomer. Do we get some more Jewish reading here?
Yeah.
Make
Oh,
the
if
more
there's
you
Jewish,
say.
let me read them.
What do you mean? What do you say? I didn't
No, we
understand.
want your ancient, your reformed Egyptian
I can do it
accent.
if you
Sure.
want.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Okay. Wherefore it shall come to pass that the Lord God will deliver again the book and the words thereof to him that is not learned, and the man that is not learned shall say, I am not learned. I can't.
So stupid.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, I'll try. Then shall the Lord God say unto them, the learned shall not read them, for they have rejected them, and I am able to do mine own work. Wherefore thou shalt read the words which I shall give unto thee.
It's just like
To-
fuck, man. The less stupid shit happens on Twitter, and like because you can now with the story that Bryce has said, you can see like what was happening. Martin Harris is coming back and going like, by the way, this scholar was basically like, you're full of shit, and Joseph's like, oh, am I? Well, I gotta go write a quick chapter. Hey, buddy, I just finished it, and turns out you're a brilliant, genius person. Not so smart for being so learned. I'm noticing, like, it's the way people post talk do bullshit on Twitter, where they're like, they just try to make it work. They try to make whatever they just said work, even though it was clearly bullshit. I don't know. It's so transparent. It's so stupid.
Hmm.
To me, it sounds too much like a bunch of the people Sir Sick covers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, shall I continue?
Yeah, sure. If you want.
Okay, verse 21. Touch not the things which are sealed, for I will bring them forth in mine own due time. For I will show unto the children of men that I am able to do mine own work. Wherefore, when thou hast read the words which I have commanded thee, and obtained the witnesses which I have promised unto thee, then shalt thou seal up the book again, and hid it up unto me, that I may preserve the words which thou hast not read, until I shall see fit in mine own wisdom to reveal all things unto the children of men. For behold,
once again, this is like Joseph is writing in his own fucking backstop here, because he knows that as soon as he publishes the Book of Mormon, everyone's going to be like, let me see the gold plates. Let me see the gold plates. And he's like, oh, well, no, look, 2nd Nephi chapter 27. They're sealed up again until the Lord's own due time. Sorry, I can't help you out. It's fucking amazing.
Hey Jimmy, how does your younger self feel knowing that you won't be able to translate the sealed portion of the Book of Mormon?
Oh yeah, he's very sad. On the trip back from Jazzland in New Orleans, where he was negotiating with God on how he'd be doing it, he's like, man, what a bummer. That's like the story. I guess it was called Six Flags by then, but we were driving back from Six Flags, and I was just thinking about stuff, and I was like, all right, God, we got to get that sealed portion out. I know I'm 13, but Joseph was only 14, so let's make this fucking shit work, bro. It's probably because
spoken about like the words of a 13-year-old.
Hell yeah.
Stop fucking me, God. Stop fucking me.
No, the reality is, the actual way crazier thing is, I would have been speaking to God in my head, adding a bunch of these and thous, because you're told you're allowed to speak English, just not plain English. You have to sound like you fucking suck at Shakespeare. So you're never allowed to say like, dear God, would you please do this for me? That's not allowed. It's an invalid prayer. You have to say thou. If it be thy will, wouldst thou come unto me, some teen come unto me, whatever, I need a Biden. And it's just fucking wild. So I'd have been there going like, if it is thy will, Lord, allow me to be thy servant, and blah 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 blah. Let's get that important sealed portion up, which was 130 pages of what you were apparently able to do in just 4 chapters that followed. Let's do it. Let's do that shit.
Okay.
So hold
Verse
on.
20.
Mormon Skeptic
Oh.
says, "Is this passage the origin of Mormon anti-intellectualism?"
No, I think Joseph
Try
Smith
not.
saying I'm going to start a church was the beginning of Mormon anti-intellectualism.
Yeah, I think he's meaning though that specific thing that people in other churches do where they like to quote that
Yeah.
verse about if they believe they are wise, which we already had one of those verses in First Nephi or maybe early Second Nephi. We already had one, but it is the one they like to point to whenever you're like, boom, scholarship, boom, history, boom, science, and then somebody goes, oh wow, you know what you're sounding? Awful learned. I have a verse for that. I got a chapter for that.
Yep.
Mhm.
Are
Absolutely.
Mormons like the biblical people when they hate wisdom and only the
Yes.
fools are wise, that kind of thing?
Correct. There's a
Yeah.
full, yeah. We already did it.
Well,
We did one.
Mormons are very like selective about the kind of learned that you can be. I mean, BYU churns out engineers and dentists like a motherfucker, right? But like any of the hard sciences of like biology and chemistry and things that you have to understand evolution for, or anything that's like academic scholarship, like religious scholarship. Oh no, those you cannot be learned in those things because then you might reject the words of the prophets.
Yeah.
Okay, verse 23. For behold, I am God, and I am a God of miracles, and I will show unto the world that I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. And I walk not among the children of men, save it to be according to their faith. And again it shall come to pass that the Lord shall say unto him unto him that shall read the words that shall be delivered him. Forasmuch as these people draw near unto me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their hearts far from me, and their fear towards me is taught by the precepts of men.
Isn't that a New Testament verse or like a scalping of the New Testament verse?
Certainly
I
sounds like
think
it.
that Walker said something like this.
Right. They draw near to me, their lips do honor me, but they've removed their hearts. I thought it was like Jesus was like they draw near to me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me.
Wait, I think it's Isaiah. Yeah, it's Isaiah.
Is that Isaiah? That is Isaiah. Okay, my mistake.
20. Yeah.
I did find. Go ahead.
Draw me to thy lips, but thy heart is far from me.
Try me to thy lips. Let me play. I found the verse.
Maybe
that
that's an
I was
old
talking
Johnny Cash song. I don't know.
about. Second
Johnny
Nephi.
Cash, Isaiah, same timeline.
So
Yeah.
Second Nephi chapter 9, which would have been a couple months ago now, but it was, oh, that cunning plan of the evil one, oh, the vainness and the frailties and the foolishness of men. When they are learned, they think they are wise, and they hearken not unto the counsel of God. For they set it aside, supposing they know of themselves. Wherefore their wisdom is foolishness, and it profiteth them not, and they shall perish. And I do find it conspicuous that this is in the early parts of the Book of Mormon, past the sealed portion, that he feels he needs to include right at the beginning. Hey, anybody who like is an intellectual who starts poking holes in this shit, I got a verse already out there. It's right at the beginning of the goddamn book.
Right.
It's pretty noticeable how early that thing showed up.
Yeah, and now he's just copying / adding stuff from Isaiah 29, from verse 13, I think.
Tight.
Oh, hey, I was not misremembering it then. Somebody in chat said it was Matthew 15:8, and that says, "These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me." So I did remember that verse correctly. This sounds like that verse, but this is actually just from Isaiah. Like Matthew was channeling Isaiah when he wrote that in Matthew.
It's been so long
Yes.
since someone honored me with their lips. What verse we have?
Thank you for the assist, Isaac
26.
Rapkin.
Cool. You gonna keep going? You want me to pull it up?
No. I have my commentary to do.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you wait first. I just have commentary for the next verses.
Okay. Therefore, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people. Yea, a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise and the learned shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent shall be hid. And woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they shall say, who seeth us? And who knoweth us? And they shall also say, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay, But behold, I will show unto them, saith the Lord of hosts, that I know all their works. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
Okay, this is weird.
You're
Verse
right.
27 is 15 and 16 combined.
Mm.
Why did he combine them? Why?
There weren't really verses back when he wrote it, though, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't actually
That's
a
correct.
verse.
He
Yeah.
he was writing these in just long chapter forms. And in fact,
Yeah.
you know what? While you're
Then-
doing that,
then-
I'm going to grab my facsimile copy.
There you go.
Okay, so I have a commentary to do here.
Sure.
Okay, verse 26, aka 14 in Isaiah, a marvelous work among these people. So several commentators understood the marvelous work, JPS translates to baffle, in a negative way, interpreting the word pele to mean concealment, as in Deuteronomy 28:59. Others, like Joseph Caspi and Amos Chacham, interpret it in a positive way, that the people will be saved from Sennacherib, or that the destruction of the Gentiles will be a great wonder that the wise men will not understand.
That's metal.
Okay.
I don't know what to say. I have
Yeah.
nothing academic to apply, but I, penis joke.
So the Raven
And-
200 offers $9.99. It says, "Your snakes are beautiful, Aaron. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be scared of snakes to the point that I refused to go outside if there was one out there. Now I want to pet one. Name Gilgamesh."
Hell yeah.
Okay, so verse 27, your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. So JPS translates to how perverse of you should the potter be accounted as the clay? And Amos Chacham explains that this is a question meant to emphasize the negative answer. The creator of man is not like the man whom he created from clay. I'm waiting for Jimmy to say metal or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
That's when you do a callback, motherfucker.
Okay.
I would like to address the Raven's comment. There is a certain amount of irony to having a snake named Gilgamesh.
Tight.
Like a dish?
Oh, it's tight as a
Oh.
dish.
Okay, verse 28. Who reads?
Shall we
I'll
have
do it.
Siri read?
Siri? Oh,
Ew. Can
what?
Siri do that? Hang on. Read Book of Mormon, 2nd Nephi, chapter 27, verse 28. Oh, thank goodness. She didn't do shit. But behold, saith the Lord of hosts, I will show unto the children of men that it is yet a very little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field shall be esteemed as a forest. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. And the meek, I pulled my headphones out, and the meek also shall increase, and their joy shall be in the Lord, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For assuredly, as the Lord liveth, they shall see that the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. And they that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob. Jacob shall not now be ashamed. I had to belch. Neither shall his face now wax pale, but when
Hold on a second. You got too much gaseous things going on. Maybe my Siri can read it. But when he seeth his children, the work of my hands in the midst of him, they shall sanctify my name, and sanctify the Holy One of Jacob, and shall fear the God of Israel.
Do you
They
want
shall-
me to pull up Pornhub.com? You usually want me to pull up Pornhub.com?
Right now, the weather is partly
I was
cloudy.
so hoping that
Is
Siri
everything
Siri
okay?
would have replied with "Go fuck yourself, Jimmy." That would have been a good one.
That's the kind of GPS I want. I want it says, in 500 feet, turn right, and then when you don't, it says, I said.
Shall I heat up your fleshlight?
No. Too much lewdness.
Sorry, I
Hey, what
could
are you
not
talking
translate
about,
that
Tomer?
Reformed Egyptian that you put in my translator. It is way too ridiculous.
I am finding bullshit.
Somebody finish the last verse so I can have my commentary.
They also that erred in spirit shall come to understanding, and they that murmured shall learn doctrine. Tummy.
Thank you.
I would
So-
blush if I could.
Okay, so verse 28 here. So but behold to the children of men, it's an addition. Yeah, this again.
Hell yeah.
Oh, this book is going to ruin me. Okay.
Oh, is it gonna ruin you, Tomer? Is it gonna
Yes,
make your
it is.
life worse? This book of Mormon. Oh,
Yes.
cry me a goddamn river. It ruined my fucking life, my friend.
And you want to yeah. Oh god, it's even worse. That it is yet a very little while. The KJV reads, "It is not yet a very little."
Did he Bill Barr the Isaiah verse? He removed the not?
Yes. Why am I laughing at this? This is so stupid, and I should have laughed when I finished this.
You're probably still laughing. 'cause I
Somewhere
think I'm-
between 12 million and 16 million people believe this.
No,
Sincerely.
Fuck me.
not really. It's like
Ah,
4 million, 5
It's,
million.
I mean, yeah, realistically,
The reported
somewhere around the
numbers.
5 to
Right.
7, but like,
I'm
they're
one of
reported
those.
numbers.
Remember, I'm in the reported numbers.
And so is
Ditto.
Bryce.
Bryce, are you not ex-commed?
I'm not.
You and I, Mormon brothers, here we are. You want to go?
That's
You want
right.
to go somewhere? and
Taking the
put-
name back.
You want to go?
It's not a
somewhere?
win for Satan, it's a win for us.
Hey,
Fuck
Bryce.
you,
Okay.
Russell.
How about you and me go somewhere and put some sherbet and Sprite?
You got some carrots for my jello?
Damn.
What the fuck are you talking
I must be dead because I'm about to serve you some potatoes, baby.
What the fuck are you? You're
Shall
Jimmy,
I set
you're like
up
a church.
date
It's a
with you,
multi-purpose
Jimmy,
room
with
in the
Bryce?
center.
okay.
was good.
Thank you.
I need to finish this. Okay, calm down. Okay, and
Kid
Lebanon
Tomer
shall
a
be.
little heated over here.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. This book is bizarre. Okay, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field. So Lebanon is a forest of trees, and the word that is translated to fruitful field is actually Carmel, whilst the Septuagint and Vulgate translated to Mount Carmel. Several commentators like Rashi, Amos Chacham, and Yair Hoffman understood it to mean a settlement of field and vineyards, and also BDB Dictionary translates also to vineyard. So vineyard. Sorry, that's the correct pronunciation.
None of us were going to correct you, and you still didn't get it quite right because it would be vineyard, but whatever, it's all good.
Yeah, English is
He
odd.
just said no one would correct him on that, and then you corrected him on
Oh, I
exactly
corrected
that.
him. I corrected him because he corrected himself wrongly and wanted to alert him that nobody was going to say anything. But now that you have, I'm a dick.
The thing is, once we get to Jacob, we're gonna have a whole lot of talk about vineyards.
Yeah, I would assume. Now the meek shall also increase, and their joy shall be in the Lord. KJV reads, "The meek shall also increase their joy in the Lord." He added the end. Oh, why? You just so.
I'm going to read another
So much
comment.
fun for me. I'm
Deviant
loving this,
Outcast.
Tomer. Thank you.
Deviant Outcast offers 100 Swedish kroner and says, BYU, I'm sad to say, has an excellent online library. Lots of Egyptology and archaeology that's hard to get otherwise, which prompts the questions. How? Why? And
Because-
no, why?
Yeah, it's a dare. They're like, we dare you to prove we're full of shit. Here's all the books. You won't. You're gonna go read up on Egyptology? Okay, we'll wait. We're ready.
Yeah, no, they have all that shit because Hugh Nibley was a fucking really powerful sophist.
Yeah.
I think he was the founder of the ancient and near Middle Eastern studies department at BYU. And he became like the stand-up apologist fighting against those Book of Abraham critics. Like they have that library because he pushed the church to be active and aggressive about the Book of Abraham.
Yeah. Did you all see how much I nodded and said yes? I tricked you all into thinking I knew what he was saying. Everything he just said. Oh, Jimmy's aware of this. Look at how he's nodding and being like, "Yep, exactly, that guy."
Yep.
This is what I told you at the beginning of the show. I fooled all of you.
Yeah, well, Jimmy, I gotta thank you because I think it was you that said that when I invited you, because other people said, "Hey, you really ought to bring Jimmy Snow onto this," and I fully understand why they did. But then you came on and said, "No, really, you need to get Bryce."
Yeah, because I'm fucking so stupid.
No, fuck no. When I
no, that's what I meant. That's definitely what I thought.
But when I got to spend a couple of hours with Bryce, I'm like, shit, this guy knows some stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. I love it. And what's even more fun too is like now, while this whole time that Tomer has been talking about everything and his commentary and how stupid this is, I have been trying my goddamned to look through the facsimile Book of Mormon to find out where we are in this, but I can't do it because we're on Second Nephi chapter 28 now.
Yeah.
This Second Nephi. This Second Nephi ends at chapter 13.
Well, that's great.
So it's somewhere between chapters 11 and 12, I think, in this one, somewhere in the middle of one of these goddamn paragraphs that they were just like, no, we're putting in a new chapter here because fuck you.
All right,
So let me understand this
and work your way back.
Let me understand this. You're saying all of the text is there.
Yes.
It's just divided into more chapters?
Less chapters.
Yes. So look, that's how the original Book of Mormon was written, all paragraph form, right?
Mm-hmm.
No verse breaks. It has paragraph breaks, but no verse breaks whatsoever. And here, I will show you. Second Book of Nephi here ends. Where is it? I'm sorry. Chapter 15 is the last chapter in it, and then it goes to the first book of Jacob. So this has 15 chapters to the 32 or 33 chapters that are in this Second Nephi.
Are we now reading the same text that you would find in your book, but yours is in a different, yours is in Jacob, where ours is labeled Nephi?
No, so it's just the same text is still the same second book of Nephi. It's just this, like the modern Second Nephi is broken into 30 plus chapters. This Second Nephi is broken into 15 chapters.
Well, we can't blame that on God because that was God's editor.
Yeah.
Anyway, Arn, I think you were going to finish your story like this. You're going to say, I came on and then I told you need to have Bryce on. And then I think you were going to say, but I haven't figured out now that I have Bryce how to uninvite Jimmy. And it's because it seems very rude that I would now uninvite Jimmy when Jimmy brought Bryce. But anyway, so Jimmy, thanks for bringing Bryce and I guess showing up sometimes. That was how it was going to end, I think. Yeah.
And I had other things to say, but I know how much you hate being complimented.
Fuck you, man.
especially when
it's
sincere.
Yeah. Have you seen what we turned that into on the channel on the line?
No.
Oh, so there's a joke now on the channel that instead of complimenting me, people tell me to just go fuck myself. And so now we get comments. The comment sections are full of go fuck myself. But here's the genius of it that I didn't think of it at the time, but now I'm going to take credit for. I don't know which insults are genuine and which ones are praises. So they're all praise. And like everything, every mean comment is now a nice comment because people know if they want to express to me that they like what I do at my channel, they should insult me.
I think
I'm
that's
impervious.
That's pretty much the nirvana of social media, isn't it?
Yeah,
of being that you have ascended as a public figure. People are clearly now unable to insult you whatsoever.
If I had thought of it in advance, I would be a fucking genius. But I did not.
Okay, so I guess I should try breaking through this fourth wall barrier here and punch you then to show my appreciation.
That's a type of appreciation, but we're not going to talk about the sorts of things I'm into. Tomer says it's too lewd.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, no, there's nothing I can do from here. Not from right above Jimmy, no. So I'm going to read the...
Oh God.
I'm going to read some more comments. We got Mark Smith,
Arn.
member for 1 month, says, what?
If you would do something, you would be punching down.
Right.
What's happening? What's happening? Something about Arn's topping me right now. What's happening?
Oh God.
What's that?
on the
I'm pretty sure I just got teabagged. So
well, technically,
playing
I just
Halo?
teabagged the barrier between
Yeah.
Tomer and Jimmy. So
I appreciate that. He's like, he thinks that Tomer and I should be closer. He wants to teabag the barrier away. I agree.
Oh my God. No.
So
That just hurts my feelings,
Cease.
Tomer.
Cease.
let me get
You're one
through
of
these
like
comments
6
if
people I
can.
would hug in real life, Tomer. This hurts my feelings.
Yeah, and I
Thank you.
genuinely appreciate having you here too. And it's not just the 15% ABV talking.
I haven't even taken a drink of my Captain Morgan's this session.
Mm.
Boy, are you a cheap date? Okay, anyway, member for 1 month says, raw. How about naming a snake Jormungandr? When I get a retic, I will name it that. Well, no. When I get a retic, a female retic, I want to name it Tiamat.
Excellent name.
Yes. So, and my wife is scolding me from across the house. We are not getting a retic. So, Lua Balar, I don't know how to say that name because there's 2 U's and 2 A's.
Lubelar.
Lubelar.
It's
All right,
Dutch.
well.
It's Lubelar.
Lubelar.
Yeah, I said
Lubelar.
All right.
Lubelar.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
trust Tomer because he's Dutch, so he knows. RN, you need the John Cleese version. Hilarious. Will you shut up?
I'm not Dutch, but I'm familiar with their ovens.
Oh.
The Raven 200, once again, $4.99 says, Tomer over here sounding like he's about to have an aneurysm. Now I feel like I got to buy him a drink. LOL.
Good luck.
This week on Reading Joseph Smith, Tomer has an aneurysm over the ridiculousness of Joseph Smith trying to translate Isaiah into his into his bullshit.
Hey Siri, maybe give Jimmy a little credit for some of that aneurysm. Jesus Christ. Fuck off.
And then Matt,
No, you were the list of my problems.
Oh, I see.
special member, offers $2 and says, Titana Boa, and I can't even pronounce. Can you believe I can't pronounce that name? I bet I
Seri
can't.
Jonen?
It's not Jonas. It's
Ivory, we're
Yo.
getting all the breaths again.
Yeah, it's Jimmy's nightmare.
I'm a producer, man. Audio obsession is my whole goddamn thing.
Okay.
I should finish my commentary here. So
Yes, you should
in-
eventually.
Yeah. Verse 31, for assuredly as the Lord liveth, they shall see that. It's another edition. Okay. And 32. And they that make a man an offender for a word. So Rashi comments that this refers to the false prophets. David Gibre comments that this refers to the people's response to the prophets of the Lord. And Amos Chacham writes that this refers to the wicked who in their saying turn people to sin. This is also translated as such by the Septuagint. So that's it.
Okay, very good. I'm just going to read through 2nd Nephi 28.
No, there's no way we're gonna get it done in I 24 minutes.
Yep.
There's too much.
There's 32
Too much.
verses. Well, we'd have
Burn
to
it.
read.
I say burn it.
in
Burn
at least-
through.
Yeah. Well, I will say I will need to leave by 6:50. So if you're fine with
Okay.
burning through it, me leaving in
Never
14
mind.
minutes.
Never mind. I don't
Okay.
want to.
I just have to prep for. We're doing a Zoom call with Forrest and patrons tonight, so I got to prep that.
Oh, by the way, I
Ivory,
don't
you
mean
gotta
to
mute, buddy.
I shouldn't bring this up, on
Thank
the
you.
show right now. But when am I on the line again?
I don't fucking know. Who do I look like? The guy who runs the place? Let's see. Tomorrow is tomorrow. You want to do so I'm filling in for Matt this Wednesday on the hang up. You want to do it with me?
I'd be happy to. Yeah.
Let's do that. Cool. You'll be
All
on
right,
on
I'll see
Wednesday.
you Wednesday.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe if I ever get 500 subscribers or more on my channel when I finally start uploading videos, I can show up or something.
So the truth is, if everyone looks at the Line's roster and things lately, we are being way more. There are people who I love as people and even like their content. Our vetting process has become much more strict lately, just because of some incidents that happened in the past and shit. And so it's going to be people that their public figuredom is not new to them, and they're not getting new consequences for showing up on our channel of that public figuredom. Because
Yeah, can you check that, Jimmy? Because somebody in the chat says I'm supposed to be on tomorrow.
No, tomorrow is John Gleason and Dr. Josh.
John Cleese? You got John Cleese?
Yeah, John Gleason. I want to fucking have that transphobic sack of shit, John Cleese, on the line.
I was mostly joking,
I'd have had him.
Jimmy.
No, it's okay.
I know it will take me years.
It's all good. I know a lot of people want to be on the line, and if anything, we shut down how many people can be on the line lately, and so I feel like I have to address it every now and then.
I am at the very least maybe a month away from posting my first 2 videos, if at all. I don't even have my setup yet, and I don't even have my first script finished. So
yeah, can I give you one piece of advice?
Yeah.
Don't do it. It's awful. It's an awful life. It's unpleasant. It's not worth it. It's terrible. I now I can't turn my back on the fact that I think it is worth it for other people. Just don't do it. Just fucking don't do it. Just don't. Anyway,
I've had ideas and stuff for a while. But thanks
so
for the advice all the same.
So look, you're a man. You can make your own decisions. That wasn't the implication that women can't, but let's be real. It's America. No, I'm kidding. You're a person. You're your own person. You're your own man. Do whatever you want. I'm just telling you, if I could go back 5 years and talk to myself 5 years ago, I would say like, hey, the photography thing's fine. Just stick to that. Just don't.
Let's think about that for a moment. Let's go back a few decades.
Yeah.
In my case.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, what are you going to be when you grow up? I'm going to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
The fuck is that?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so excited for right now. The thing I am building is a channel of people who I respect and whose voices I think are far more valuable than mine. And the day is going to come where you never have to see my face on that channel ever again. And I will be behind the scenes doing production, and I will be platforming more people and more activists. And I'll be doing everything from a little dark room, and I will find peace and joy and happiness. But boy, being a public figure fucking sucks.
I kind of hear you. I also long for the day when I could sit back and do the production and just have Forrest and Erica doing the hosting of the show, and I'm just doing the background stuff.
And yet I've been trying to trick you to be a part of my foreground plan. You're one of the people I'm describing as valuing right there at the front.
I'm doing my best to curb my enthusiasm, but I hope at least once to come to a meet and greet and actually meet all of you, including Forrest. I've talked to 2 of my own personal triumvirate of atheism. I feel awesome about it.
Yeah.
About that. I just need to meet Valkai, and I can count all 3 of them.
Wait,
Mark Smith.
We've met? Or you mean we've met digitally?
Yeah, digitally.
Okay, yeah.
Not in person.
Well, you can meet Forrest. You can meet Forrest on Zoom in literally 20 minutes if you're a patron. Patreon.com/calltheline. $5 a month. You can jump in and come on the Zoom call with us. I'm just saying. Thank you for the opportunity to pitch that and mention that.
So Mark Smith, member for 1 month, offers $5. Says, Ivory Darkness, if you want to be on the line, just call in.
That's true. That's true.
I'm mostly very busy taking care of my kids and waiting for this show to come on
Oh my
the
God.
line.
By the way, my advice to not become a public figure when you have kids triples, just so you know. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, what if you have a Great Pyrenees that explodes every few seconds?
Quintuples.
Honestly, my favorite part in a lot of Aaron's videos is the end credits scene where he talks to his dogs. It's adorable and I love it. It kind of breaks down the intimidation factor I feel in a lot of the videos.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very
All right.
much.
It sounds like we're done. You guys make your closing comments, all of you, and I'm going to shut up.
I make BDSM furniture for ferrets. Google me, I guess, if you want, but probably don't.
Thank you very much for listening to my commentary. Maybe I'll join in other episodes, but I need to sleep, so
That's true.
I can't guarantee that.
Yeah, I mean, be watching the channel for when Aaron airs our conversations about Joseph Smith history, comparing Joseph Smith to Joseph Smith. And that should be a lot of fun. It was fun recording it 4 hours from now. Yeah, it was fun recording it. I don't know how it came out in the final product. Plenty of tech difficulties to work through as well. But I mean, I hope it's just fun for people watching it as well as recording.
Can I make an audacious request? 2 weeks from now, the 5th of March, can we either do the show at a different time, preferably later, or maybe take that one off? Because that is my birthday and I want to do an event on the line. And I want to not have to limit the time and be overlapping with us. So if we can either just, because we haven't taken a week off in a while anyway. So I'm audaciously requesting, if you say no, I'll just do it and I'll limit it to 2 hours. But
what date are you talking about?
The 5th of March, 2 weeks from today.
Okay. Let me think. That may be a reptile impersonation day. I'm not sure.
So that might work out anyway.
As if every day wasn't Reptile Appreciation Day already.
I guess.
I'm actually, after the Zoom call, I have to head to Matt's because I'm taking care of his snakes and rats and cat. I'll be doing some.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's somewhere. He's in some state. I don't know where it is. I just know he's not. I know he's not here, and I'm taking care of his stuff.
Okay.
Aaron,
And how many snakes does he have?
What is it, like 300? Something like that. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not doing much besides checking on their well-being. They're pretty well taken care of. They're only gone for a couple of days, but them I'm mostly just checking on their well-being, maybe topping off waters.
Aaron,
Okay.
we got another super chat.
Oh, do we now? Okay. Super chat. I got cookies offers $5 and says, Jimmy, post the Zoom link in mod Discord and F you that I had to super chat this.
The worst part is I got cookies. I literally posted it 2 minutes at least before you put that super chat up. So you actually didn't have to super chat. I'm very sorry I got cookies, but I actually did do that already.
Now, I hear a lot of laughing and giggling, but don't let if there are any believing Mormons in the audience, don't let that think that we're not absolutely reverent and respectful of your beliefs.
What? I am a Mormon,
Reverent
so
and
of course that's
respectful?
true.
I have my Satanic Temple certificate in my backdrop.
I
But
am
you
a
don't
Mormon.
understand.
I
Jimmy
represent
and
the
Bryce
church.
both represent the LDS.
Thank you.
That's right.
Exactly.
We are here for and in behalf of the brethren.
We are the
Who are nearly dead.
Mormons.
Okay. And I believe.
Deviant Outcast sent supers as well.
Deviant Outcast, 50 Swedish kroner says, with all the laughs, these streams going to prolong my life on an uncomfortable amount of time. And yes, that is a threat. All right, we're still waiting for last comments. Are you all done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
Peter, yank us out of here.
Wait. I would like to request one more thing. I would like Tomer to get the last singular word. This is how you do a callback. Go ahead, Tomer.
Cool.